GHK Lall on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. Thank you for joining us on the National Outlook. It's Friday, January 8th, and we're about to complete the first full week. It's been a rainy week, and it's still the lingering aftermath of the season. And in this part of the world, the season is not a day, Christmas and New Year's Day, 2 days. It's a month. And sometimes that season extends for some people every day of the year. Now, one of the plagues of our society is speeding. And speeding fueled or buttressed by alcohol. And that's why I mentioned the holiday season. Holiday season, liquor, driving, speeding. There's a continuum there, and they are all related. And what happened? We paid some prices for that. Last Sunday, in preparation for a column I do in Kaieteur newspaper, I said, I hope I'm not unpleasantly surprised, but there were no big accidents. Lo and behold, on Monday morning, the day after the column, there were a number of these, excuse me for smiling, there were a number of these. There was one tragic accident, definitely, and there was another one. So, I remember 2 dead in a smash-up, head-on collision, and 1 seriously injured. How can it be otherwise on I think somewhere in the quarantine, if I remember well. Then there was a hire car driver on the west coast of Berbice who lost control of his car, and he died before the birth of his third child. A really tragic set of circumstances. And there's something there, I'll hold off on that for a moment, I'll tell you right now, that was involved. Reports are that on Friday, January 1st at about 4 a.m. on the number 42nd Public Road, was proceeding east along the northern drive lane at a fast rate of speed. Now, I'm not telling you, my fellow citizens, my brothers and sisters, something that you don't know. If we who are driving at the speed limit have not heard of people blowing horns behind us angrily and flashing lights, then something is wrong, because that has happened to me. And what I do, I drive even more slowly. But a fast rate of speed was to kill this man, or this man killed himself, excuse me. And so that was that. Then I saw this thing about the city businessman who was hit at Main and Middle Streets in Georgetown, downtown Georgetown, just outside a popular bar and restaurant, a pretty nationally known one. And his family offers reward as city businessman remains hospitalized from hit and run. Now, it didn't say anything about speeding, but hit and run immediately infers that they were speeding. The only bump in the road was the body that went flying in the air. Unfortunately, this man, who is severely injured, and his family now are looking for answers, are looking for the culprit through the police. And it was a white car, and again, here we are, which was traveling north along the western carriageway of Main Street at a fast rate of speed. And it just goes on and on. And we're a small country. We do not have enough roads, and we keep killing ourselves. I like a good drink. We keep drinking and driving. I never do that. But so we end up in trouble. We leave loved ones behind to lament and to grieve over our excesses. I read of the drunk driver who was begging the policemen for a pass because he does the same thing to some officer in Leonora. So he was begging for a pass, and they had a photograph of him, and it was sad. It wasn't hilarious. It was sad. Then on Wednesday, even sadder still, I read of the 59-year-old woman who was killed by a police vehicle on a pedestrian crossing. I think this was on Grove, on a pedestrian crossing, folks. So, I mean, we ought to know better. You ever stood on a pedestrian crossing with a vehicle coming? You're taking your life in your hands. We are taking our lives in our hands. That's the nature of how we drive in this country. And there's one element to it: speeding. And furious rate of speed leads to terrible accidents, terrible trauma, and people losing their lives. Until the next time, GHK Lall on Kaieteur Radio. Thank you for joining us on this first week in January, and do have a good weekend, and we look forward to joining you next week, God willing.